All right, so now we're going to go over the Leads tab, one of the most important pages in the entire platform. You're actually going to be spending a lot of your time here. You can see here that we have the Leads contact information, the assigned agents and lenders and assistants, what type of buyer it is, and some stats on the client. The source here, very, very important. You can see that Rocket is an aggregation system and it funnels in leads from multiple different sources. Now we have some leads that signed up on landing pages, some leads that were automatically imported through Realtor.com. We have a direct integration with Zillow, Realtor.com, and a lot of the other portals. We have organic leads that sign up on the front end, direct that signed up on the front end without going through Google, a bunch of different ways that these leads can get in here. So there's some really helpful filters here that you can filter by. Some of them are pretty standard, newest and oldest, but there's also some really good ones. Highest price lead. This is going to allow you to filter your highest and most valuable leads from top down and just start your day calling the most profitable leads. There's also highest Rocket score, super valuable filter. The Rocket score is actually comprised of over 52 different data points about the lead, and we're able to quantify them and put them all into a single score. These are things like time on site, how many times the lead is logged in, when's the last time the lead is logged in, what stage it's in. This is all super valuable information that most CRMs don't take advantage of or just don't have the capability to take advantage of. We're able to put that into a single score and allow you to sort by the highest Rocket score leads. You can also filter by any of your stages. You can also filter by any of your agents if you want to see an agent-specific call queue or a lender-specific call queue so you can have a conversation with them. And this calls needed one is actually super interesting. We're able to bucket certain leads together depending on if they need a call or not. The lead source, you can actually filter out by any of your specific lead sources, but let's actually see the power of an integrated leads tab and what we can do here. If we wanted to select a couple leads, but if we also wanted to select all and email out all of these leads, you can drop down a template or you can simply create your own, click send email, and now you just send 24 emails with just one click of a button. If you want to send 24 text messages, again, boom, and you just send out 24 text messages. This works if you have 24 leads in the system or 10,000 leads in the system. Let's drop down this dialer here. If we click on dial 24 leads, it's an integrated dialing system. You're gonna actually hear it's gonna dial through the platform. Obviously this is a bad phone number, so it didn't ring anywhere, but look what happens next. Next required contact is today. We don't believe in setting tasks. The system has an integrated tasking system that tells you when the next time you should call. It uses artificial intelligence and a bunch of different calendaring and scheduling algorithms to efficiently take the burden off of you of follow-up. The system knows better than you when that lead should be followed up with. So once we dial through the system, depending on how we disposition this lead, the lead will have a custom next follow-up date automatically assigned. So let's click no answer, and now the system tells you that you should be calling this lead tomorrow as well. It makes you really efficient when you're dialing, which just takes that mental burden off of you to figure out when you should be calling that lead next. The system will handle it all for you. Now if we simply click dial next, it's dialing the next lead. I'm going to click hang up and I'm going to click successful conversation. So as you can see, this power dialer allows you to run through a lot of leads in a short amount of time. Our average agents are actually dialing 600 leads a day without even breaking a sweat. The manual burnout time for cold call outbound sales is roughly about 150 to 250 calls a day, manual hand dials, and that's if you're doing really, really good. It's just human nature for you to get distracted and check Facebook. When you're dialing in the system, your agents are going to be a lot more efficient. Now keep in mind, you also have a native mobile application right here on your cell phone. You can see that it looks and performs exactly like the web application. If you wanted to select a couple leads and initiate a dialing sequence, all you have to do is click call, and we have the same call dispositions at the bottom, making it very familiar and easy to use on your cell phone. Now, it's got everything that you know and love from any other CRM plus more. Obviously, we have a nice little progressing system and staging system that you can correctly disposition your leads. One thing you have to realize is these stages are not just regular old stages, they're smart campaigns. This way, when you disposition a lead into a stage, an actual relevant action occurs, whether that be a text message, an email, a task, or a multitude of other things. When you select a lead into a stage, it's going to prompt you for more information. And emails and different forms of communication are going to go out to this lead automatically. This ensures that your leads are getting the correct message at the correct time. No other CRM is doing this at the moment. Now you have access to the same communication tools that you had on the leads page. Let's send this lead a text. You can use these custom shortcodes to draft your message appropriately. You can see also here that you can send your V card and business card. Now what do these two things look like? If we click on this digital business card, this is actually a picture message, a MMS message that goes directly to that lead's phone number. If you click it, it's going to actually build a custom business card for you and ship it out to that lead without you doing absolutely anything. The VCF card is a file that gets texted to your lead that the lead can then just click one button and it will automatically import your contact card to their phone. No other CRMs are doing these type of things, and these are the little minute differences that will break down the front door for you and separate yourself from all the other agents texting and trying to communicate with these leads, especially if you're getting online leads, which are one of the hardest leads to compete for, because these online portals are not only selling it to one agent, but they're selling it to multiple agents trying to increase their profit margins. Now let's look at some of the rich IDX search data that gets captured along with these leads. Because we provide you an IDX search website along with your Rocket license, everything that your lead does on your website, we are able to capture and merge it with the profile. If we pull open any one of these leads, you can see here that we log all property requests. This is when a lead physically requests a viewing on a property. Every single search that this lead has done on the front end, you can see this lead was looking for homes in North Las Vegas, price $300,000, pool yes, year 2005 or newer. This data right here is invaluable. It allows you to have a very warm conversation with the lead, and you can see trends and patterns, also red flags. If your lead is signing up and saying that they can only qualify for 200 or 300,000, but they're looking at homes $1 million and above, you know you have more talking points and things to qualify with that lead. It also logs every home that this lead has favorited. Extremely valuable information. If there's a home that's favorited here, you know that you need to bring that home up on your initial conversation. This is a hot home. We also log every single property that this lead has viewed. This will give a historical view and allow you to pick up on more trends and give you more talking points. Now when you go to call this lead, it's a very warm conversation. It's no longer a cold call. You go, Ryan, I saw you were on my website looking at some homes in North Las Vegas. Looks like you were wanting a pool, and it looks like you wanted a house 2005 or newer. You actually favorited my home on Teal Pedal Street. Is this something you wanted to go take a look at? This gives you the information that you need to talk to a lead and secure the deal. When you open up with a cold call and try to do objection handlers, most of the time the leads can sense that this is a cold call and they start to freeze up right away. This is no longer a cold call, and you'll have conversion rate lifts of 3 or 4x just by having the information associated with the account. Now there's only 5 things that you need to know about using the CRM and correctly disposition a lead. It's not one of those CRMs that you have to take weeks to learn. There's even CRMs that fly you out of state and give you a 3-day boot camp on how to use the system. Here's the 5 things that you must do when working a lead on the Rocket CRM. Number 1, always add a note. You can manually add a call note or a note right here, but the easiest way to notate the account is by physically calling the lead through the integrated dialer. This is running in the web browser. A lot of agents like to put a headset on and dial that way, but you can just use native speakers as well, as long as you're in a quiet room.
Hey, thank you for calling. Unfortunately, I can't take your call right now, but if you will leave...
So this is an example of a lead that didn't pick up. All we have to do is click no answer. And the beauty of this system is it automatically adds the call note for you right here. All you have to do is click the play button and you can rehear that conversation.
Hey, thank you for calling. Unfortunately, I can't take your call right now, but...
Super valuable. You can literally talk normally. If there's any details that you miss, you can always go back and reference them at a later date. So this workflow also works for all of our calls, inbound and outbound. So you can literally get an outbound call to your cell phone. You could be at the line at the grocery store. You pick up, talk naturally. You come back to your CRM. All your calls are recorded, and you can reference all the notes and details about that call. You have no excuse not to answer your phone, even if you're not by a pen and paper. Number 2, change your stage where necessary. And I say where necessary because every single phone call, you're not always going to have an event that warrants you changing the stage. Again, keep in mind, when you change the stage, a whole new action plan starts, and that's going to send out communication on your behalf without you doing anything. So be very careful not to jump around the stages. Number 3, set a task if necessary. And again, if necessary, because every single phone call doesn't deserve and warrant a task. Keep in mind, we already have an integrated tasking system. These are for very specific events where a lead says, hey, next Tuesday, I get off of work at 3 p.m. Call me then and we'll talk then. So when you set a task, it's going to text you an hour in advance. It's also going to sync to your calendar to make sure that you don't miss any tasks. So these are very urgent, top of mind tasks. Rely on the automated built-in tasking system. There's a lot of artificial intelligence built in here to save you from going in here and setting tasks every day. Sure, you might be able to do it with 20 leads, but once you get into 50 leads, 100 leads, 1,000 leads, the human brain just isn't capable of juggling all of these deadlines. Number 4, mark successfully contacted. When a lead first comes through, you're going to notice that there's a red box here and it's going to say unsuccessfully contacted. Once you click it to green, successfully contacted, it's going to pause all of your marketing and sales-based emails. This includes text messages, emails, tasks, and other things. Why is it important to pause your sales emails after you've marked a lead successfully contacted? Well, you don't want to jump on the phone with a lead, have a great conversation with that lead, and then 2 hours later hit him with a sales drip email. It's just going to ruin all of the magic of the marketing automation. So once you push it green, it's going to pause all of your sales campaigns, and it's going to still let all of your native marketing emails still send to the lead. Now there's so much more that we can learn on this page, but really if you just keep these 5 easy things on the top of your mind, you should be a rock star. You can easily assign a lender by clicking on the lender tab, drop down, and assign a lender. You can also alert that lender with an SMS alert so they get pinged and they know they need to jump in right away. You can assign vendors and assistants also the same exact way. All right, guys, that's a great overview and a great starting point. We obviously have a bunch more advanced features. We have caller ID lookups and social media profile lookups. It's a really great feature when you're trying to call the lead and relate to them personally. You can go on their Facebook profile, see what sports teams they're at, see what trips they just recently went on. It really allows you to be a ninja and start up certain conversations, and it's all about connecting with the lead. If you're able to connect personally with the lead, there should be no reason why you shouldn't be able to lock that lead down. You can also upload all of your documents associated with your files right here in our escrow management solution. Another really cool thing that not a lot of CRMs allow you to do is we allow you to customize the day that your property drips goes out and what different marketing campaigns that lead is assigned to. Now, if there's a green check mark next to the phone number and email, that means this lead has physically verified their phone and email. We have 3 different points of contact information verification. Number 1, formatting. We will make sure that any phone number and any email entered into the Rocket system is formatted correctly so you get the best contact information right there at the time of sign up. Number 2, we actually ping the cell phone towers and the email servers to make sure and validate that that phone number and email is a valid phone and email. If it's not a valid phone and email, we will stop the lead during the registration process right there so they can update it with a new set of credentials. You're never going to get a second chance at getting those phone numbers and emails. You need to stop the user, have them update their phone and email, and then have them try to verify again. And number 3, we physically send them an MLS access code to verify their phone and email. So during the registration process, we will text them an access code that they physically have to type back in to your platform. This form of verification is foolproof. It validates 100% that that lead is who they say they are. Now, if you do enter a lead manually or have a lead imported from another system that's not on our front end, you do have a chance to look up an alternate set of contact information. Very, very helpful, and should increase your conversion rate 5 to 10 times over on some of these lead sources that a lot of these leads like to change their phone number by 1 digit, change their email by 1 digit. So what you can do, you can actually click this blue box right next to the phone number, and it will physically go out and try to find an alternate phone number. It looks like this lead does have the correct phone number, so therefore no alternate was found. It doesn't work all the time, but in those instances where people try to trick the system, it will give you a second shot at calling that lead. So that really wraps up lead profile. If you have any questions, email us at support@rocketagents.com, and we'll make sure to return all inquiries within 24 hours.